Sanibonani, Dumelang Absheni. My name is Ntombi Mngomezulu and welcome to my first ever podcast. Dumelang Sanibonani Absheni. Welcome to my first ever show. I'm not going to call it a podcast. It's more of a show, right? But anyways, it's the first ever one and I'm so excited. And today I have a very interesting guest. I'm just going to give you guys keywords. Bese nina senzo decide ukuthi bani. Pub, crime, prison, motivational speaker, foundation, author, and now other legit businesses. Yes, you guessed it. It is Skeem GP. And yeah, without wasting any more time, let us just get to it. Sawubona bhuti.
Greetings ma, ninjani siswami?
Ngiyaphila unjani?
Mngomezulu, siyabonga.
Siyabonga nathi. Please just, first of all, introduce yourself. I don't think Skeem GP is your real name. So sicela usitshele igama lakho and tell us where you're from and tell us how it was like growing up and just being you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. So I'm having greetings again. Igama Themba Lukhele, well, formerly known as Skeem or fondly known as Skeem or Skeem GP. But obviously, Nami, I've got my own history. And when I unpack, I always tell people, this is a man with three identities. A man who was young, a man in prison, and a man that you see now. So it's going to be a very interesting show where we're unpacking organically the matters of the heart and issues that affect real people. And umuntu ongenza mistakes, usually actually in life, they don't do anything. Yeah. So I've got my own, factory faults, human errors, but we rose above the storms of life. And that's why I always call myself a bona fide Christian. Omunye to Themba Lukhele, omunye to Skeem, mina ngithi okubalekile ukuthi ngumntana kaNkulunkulu.
Oh my goodness, wow, that is so nice. So without wasting any more time, let us get to it. Ukhulele kuphi?
Born and raised, Mngadi section, Tasi Streets, Asekatlehong. That's where I come from. So obviously, background layami, mhlambe if you may allow me, ukuthi maybe paint a clear picture for somebody who doesn't know, ukuthi what make me tick and what make me the man that I am today. There are two things in school. I go around schools, prisons, churches, about there are two things in life. You can't choose your parents, you can't choose your circumstances. I never chose. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, just a stone throw away from a car, we were still. So around the time Mangzalo, I may as well in good authority say, me product apartheid. So I do not blame the past. I edify, but I don't live in the past. I live in the now, in the present, and in the future that I built. So it happened with the car. It was just diagonal opposite or Stella. Now at that time, obviously, Siakula, age 10, 11, learning my intricacies of life. Nginto is toad blind, and the car they called me a heart and the engine and the lifeblood of my young people because we pace. The motors are matrata. I'm a kite, I'm a bicycle, you name them. Even the soccer games at this corner. I played number 1, I played number 5. So pretty much I've touched life at every point. But in the end, because of the environment, the location, I could not choose. Years lapsed and then, or time elapsed, political ambivalent violence, meaning between the IFP and the ANC.
And which year was this?
This was 1992. Actually, in 1990, between the GNT and the CATO, if you understand its terminology, the abbreviation, Wama Taxi Association ECAS. So that led, obviously, from taxi violence, it escalated to a political violence. Later, it was a black-on-black violence between the IFP and the ANC. And people at that time were dying. So now, me growing up, seeing people who say, it really got into me and did something. And I ended up making some serious irrational decisions, and I bent my fingers. That's where it all begins.
So we'd like to know, Mauti, irrational decisions. What irrational decisions are you talking about? What exactly did you decide to do?
He doesn't know why I'm smiling. It's because I want to have a scholar one kuluma now. But I always say, when you talk about funny business, that's why now, not to totally attention. Yeah. You can talk about anything else, Mara. That sparks, or that one thing, Oguti, I cannot press the finger on the why. You tell them about something funny, it's only then Bavu. So, something funny in a sense that it was very educational, Mara also, it had a serious negative impact. My house and my home, by the way, was chosen as a base. A base, I'm talking about, Gyaliwa between IFP and ANC. So they decided, the community, to say, we want to protect our very own. Let us buy ammunition, guns, weapons to protect ourselves. So unfortunately, my house and my home was chosen as a base where the cadres who were relentless in their quest to protect the community, they were basing at my house. So I used to spend many nights with more than 20 AK-47 in one house. That's why that's the seed or what gave birth to a man that you see today. Fast forward, irrational decisions. And I said to myself, I wanted to be a movie star. Why not? And but I've always been the guy to go to. Substation, and I said, okay, can I make something out of a situation a corner? Because in every situation, there's opportunity.
Yes.
So I decided one day to steal one of many guns. And then I stole one of many guns and I went to school. At that time, I'm 15 years of age.
An AK-47.
AK-47, straight to Fumana Comprehensive High. For the first time, Cherry, I'm out, Russian min machine AK-47, Themba Lukhele. I was so excited. Taken aback, I was a hero. Ugudi, yo. Lendo Stalisis Bone TV. Then for the first time, I experienced about Konugui Tacha. Then one thing led to another. Two friends of mine, Thabo and Fanny, I said to them, but guys, Tina, man, we've got potential. And this thing, I'm sure something could come out.
What potential? Potential to do what?
To make money. And making money in unscrupulous ways, whether by hook or crook, but why is in an instrument? You're going to So,
yeah.
So she decided, I think we were doing standard 6. And as maybe grade 7 or grade 8 this
grade
time.
8, but
grade
that's
8.
you're like 14 months when you're in grade 8.
Exactly.
Wow.
So now we decided to commit crime against humanity. I'm just trying to cut the long story short. We went to a nearby suburb, which was Al Road. And fortunately, Linda was our geographic location today. So we're in a suburb.
And don't tell people where I am.
We precarious. So Utabo, before we could start he decided, because he saw something that caught a corner of his eye, he decided to pounce on a certain individual, and then when he went there, of course, all of us were exposed. We started running. When we started running, he purpose was to roof somewhere, and then we get money. But he started premature, even before Akonoguschela. Unfortunately, obviously, community activated. Community policing forum, then so mina thinking my heart was pouncing. Remember, this is the gun that was bought and it's under supervision.
Yes.
So I'm exposing my own community. These people are getting by the way. So I had to fight until Ngitole first place. But unfortunately, there was heavy police presence, and then we were caught. We were arrested. For the first time I experienced a cold jail cell, I was only 15 years of age. That was the greatest start of the greatest torment of the men that you see today.
Oh my goodness, 15. And how long were you kept there?
No, we spent, actually my friends, they spent, more time or more days, but I spent only a night, because Baya Babiza and I had caught footy. Because you are underage. So we are going to call your parents and then we are going to reintegrate or leave you in the custody or in the care of your parents.
Yes.
So if that's how we were exempted.
And then from that day on, how did we then move to Skeem GP, the pub?
Okay.
How did we get there?
Obviously, after I was reintegrated, I saw another opportunity and a potential. But now, because I've always been an independent thinker. And I always say or claim that I'm cut from a different cloth. And I said also to my parents, I want to live in Pilo Umlung. So my mom would always be taken aback. You mean literally no. These people, they're well sought after. Insurance. So I want to leave large and I want to leave a legacy, a footprint, so that whenever success card, one should say, must point a direction of success, see point a good term. So I started calling people Skeem. Skeem meaning my partner, my homie, my friend. Exactly. So people would feel comfortable. So I remember even the bishop of mine, Bishop Benjamin Dube, I submit under his leadership. He calls me Skeem Sam. So I want to feel out into a young told. So Skeem Sam. So like created traction. Now, abantu abaningi bathi sekune mileage, they started calling me Skeem now. So ngathi mina, why can't I convert this thing and then into a positive energy, net revenue? But before that, there was a gap, and now there was a series of negative, significant events that happened in my life, which was the life of crime. Now, I went knee deep into criminal activities. After ngikhulumela abazali bami, ngathi kubo, can you just release me with a blessing? I had said, I want to make a living. You know, whether it's an honest living, but I did not, obviously, because of ulterior motives, I did not tell them directly what was my vision, what was my objectives or my aims. But I knew very well there was something that might go wrong for me to find myself in the right financial, stability or status. So I moved. Ngayomuvela kuma cousin wami wahlala eForsto ngihlala eKatlehong. Umama wami, well, she got paid in the face because bekangayizwisisi lento yokumova. Then I now started experiencing the life yokuba free.
And imali sohlala kuphi eKatlehong?
eForsto.
eForsto.
Ngisuke ekhaya eKatlehong sengimuvele eForsto.
Okay.
From eForsto ngitshintshe nesikole from eFumana ngimuvele eMasithwalisane. I started lezi nto ke yazi masakhula thina besenza lento zama beauty contest because I've done almost everything under the sun. There was wrong or right. I've never obviously done drugs or alcohol and whatever, but lezi nto lezi zenza ukuthi ube relevant. So ngastart bangifike eForsto pushy competition. I've always been a go-getter. And then Mr. no Miss Masithwalisane, Mr. Matwa. Can you imagine Mr. at that time? Waleso skolo. So it simply means all now the eyes on me, attention on me. Then Sangena, Mr. Foslo, and I always silenced the lamp. I was coming out tops. So it really actually was affirming and confirming the leadership qualities that were there. But it's just that obviously all things that are happening in our lives, I always say, whether negative or positive, they align us and put us directly proportional to the best things that will ever happen. So Foslo, fast forward, Sakala manje ukungena crime yemoto. Now I was actually elevating. And when I'm saying going knee deep into criminal activities, bengiqala ngifunda other avenues. So one time, when I decided to say, man, this thing imoto ayisebenzi, we stole another car. Masibuya masivula, kanti imoto yephoyisa. Ebhutini masivula kunamadocket, more than 50. And at that time, there's manual lezing. I realized there are people who might go scot-free. Murder and what have you.
Because you took their paperwork, my God.
Exactly. So I realized their danger. I've always been that finest thinker. Why don't we sell these dockets?
Trace these people.
Trace these people, sell the docket for 5K instead of selling the car.
I would have done the same.
I realized later, Parmal Figal Patala 2005. For a motor worth 200,000. So now it simply means C5. We are going to share 5 clip. No. Let us just try and redirect our energies into something more lucrative now. But now it meant we didn't have value and also the danger was equally important.
Yeah.
So we started I've done everything, man. From the bank robberies, Sangena Guma heist. That's when the media in South Africa has labeled me as a kingpin and a mastermind in serious robberies. But in fact, the most money that was stolen in South Africa was stolen by this man. So I always tell young people who don't get excited about the past. I don't live in my past. I live in the future that I create and I built. But Leo, that was just my testimony and the story of my life. Most of my friends, they did not see the light of day. Most of them, they are doing serious years in prison. Now I had to land myself in prison for me to be reintegrated and live now a happy and a honest life, or lead an honest life. So, well, after graduating, let's move into serious formal business people, because I've got that serious business acumen, and I can tell you, something good can come out. I took a number plate, a concept yakona. I check in alphabet maybe up to 7. And then I do Skeem, alphabet 5. Then we go GP, Gauteng province. And I said, no, man, let me just convert this. I can take a concept, News Cafe, or whatever the case is, and then I'll just obviously disseminate into 9 provinces. Guno Skeem, MP, Guno Skeem, Limpopo, Guno Skeem.
Oh, yes, wow.
Then my brother at that time, he was going deep again into taxis. I started buying containers, Celsi and Vodacom. I had more than 32. Para taxi rank, Masianuke, Foslo, everywhere. Bogama container at that time. So
and how old are you now?
I was about 25 at that time.
What?
25 to 26, I was closer to home because into Bengizbona, and I had started going to church hectically so, because at the age 15, 16, being youth leader at Full Gospel Church. Ngenza lezi zinto engizenzayo. Lapha mangithi 18 bangithatha bang escalator into the leadership manje of the church, meaning bengidlala ubutreasure lapha. So I've always been exposed with life at church. So I knew whatever that I was doing to edify myself, but in true sense of the word, the backstory behind it. Themba, you are a bona fide Christian. So then the bengibuya ngithi mali mara zingishaye futhi. So move amongst the
ube guilty nyana.
Exactly. So one day emasitwalisane esikolweni ngihlangana nalo muntu ngithi yes lo muntu lo is my favorite gospel artist of all time, Bishop Benjamin Dube. He was staying just a stone throw away from la bengihlala khona mina. I did not even know. So uphethe isinkwa mangifika Bishop ngevoice encane, hi son, how are you? Ngithi man, thanda music wakho, athi ufunda aphi uhlala aphi nani? Ngithi no, I would like to visit your church. Then that weekend ngiye vele High Praise Center. I became a full-fledged member at High Praise Center. But kunento enginazo behind the scenes. Ekuma demoni wami. Everyone is struggling from their own demons. Nami, I had my own. First time ngithenga M3, ngiyafika uBishop uthi, hey, I wanna test drive imoto yakho, uyangicongratulate. So my friends were let's phofolo nezimo. And bayamangala abantu uthi, when are you friends with celebrities, with the singers? Mara life yakho. But I've always had lento magnet, because every single little relationship engibenayo, I think it was a barter deal or a back-to-back, because abantu bephila nami, but they've always felt comfortable around me. I've got, I was a ball of energy, that biggest heart, warm heart. Ubantu bakashonele uyamuvela, because I know ukuthi umuntu ozesibhedlele, umuntu ozamawushonele, or umuntu ozamawusejele, those people abantu abanye bakulahle bayakuncane. So Bishop, he started obviously now speaking a word of blessing, sengiyimi nama-tithes nani, but besengimuva ngoba sengu-businessman, sengiyamove entweni ze-crime. At the age 26, 27, I decided to say no, I want to build manje enye i-future engizoyishiyela le legacy ngishiyela nabantwana bami. This number plate, let me solidify, let me unfirm, let me confirm, and let me push this thing once and for all. And I started obviously building, yabo? Establishment, the baby is Skeem GP.
Yes.
The aim was to have a bar and a lounge. Then we succeeded. It was a bar/lounge, but for the first time, na indawo isekasi around town on a gravel road, safaka yonke into, ngafaka swimming pool, something that has never been seen eKasi. Makuza abantu bafika bathi Themba took isentin from esentin wayilethe eKasi. So mangiceda ngaset ama standards, no short pen, no tracksuit, no heads, no caps, no teki. So people they knew good masivuka siyageza. So sa establish kwaba khona, I gave birth to a nightlife. I can safely say that. Even manje, 20 years later or 15 years later,
people are doing what you had initially started. Yeah.
I've planted a seed. So mangibona manje ukuthi okay, kind of good nama establishments who are closer to that, double Zen 63. I'm very happy to say I can pride myself and say this was a kasi, but a very lay low. And iKasi never experienced ezinye izinto on that level. Besiphuma sevila kasi street, but i-airport la wonke umuntu ulenda la mara badlule bayile. So yes. Let me just redirect the energies, and the fire was burning and all roads were leading to Skeem GP. Well, I ran for the first year, but there was a relationship ebenguyo. So sometimes there's this I feel we are not aware with yini engakuthatha and then rewrite history yakho. It was a toxic relationship that I had found myself in. Okay. That was the sad ending story. But anyway, I had a healthy, good, fair share of 3 years solely running and concurrently so. And people were there meeting, I can name them. So all the people is hosted. It's the people, all the contacts as a solid ngizenzile through the outlet, ngizenzile through the establishment the people eKasi baza ama-biker boys, ama-Ferrari, ama-Lamborghini beweza eSkeem. So le culture yama-bike nani, it started at Skeem. I-culture yokuthi ngisupporting, ngiyabona kwenziwa ama-soccer games nani, bekunama-Skeem GP tournaments lapho Gift Leremi, you name them, Bothabo Moki, they would come. So iKatlehong was alive now. iKatlehong was buzzing. Thokoza for Slaughterers, if abantu Skeem. So I am happy today ukuthi the culture is growing. We're not condoning life yabantu abahlala ba intoxicated, but we are condoning lifestyle. To say I was not selling liquor, I was selling lifestyle. And the storm was brewing. Something was about to happen. So
wait, you spoke about a toxic relationship there. What really happened? What happened? Why you now that affected Skeem GP? How?
Okay, this is what I've done. And let's talk something back to front. I find this woman, of course, you fall in love. Mara manje into engiyenzile, the first thing I know, I wanna solidify a relationship and create a well and a sustainable, healthy relationship. Ngathi mina umntwanami angifuna be second born komunye ubaba. It means I was signing to the woman ebenginayo ukuthi not wena nginawe kuze kuyofa. Uyabona? So unfortunately she became devious on me. I just want to cut for the sake of time. Now, when she became devious on me, obviously she had another relationship, and that relationship, because I don't want to point fingers. That is why I'm saying it was healthy. We were pushing. People, they like shifting blames. You know, Prophet Janita Penam, if you harbor bitterness, it gets into your belly and it tears you apart. I was a bitter man. I was an angry man because when we out, you have done things. Abantu achieve. Bana 50, bana 60. But people, they started obviously taking advantage. Now, unfortunately, in the way I identify to do business, that very same prime land, your builder, the lucrative business, and the Skeem GP, that was the biggest mistake
of your life.
So, but again, well, I need to believe we learn, and you don't sometimes regret. And it simply means you had second thoughts or doubts.
Yes.
So it was all good and well, but after that relationship, before, under the sun. Mara, should you become devious on me and you, it's done. So their relationship, I survive izinto serious. I survive serious. But because I decide an irrational decision, it's very exciting and interesting. The life that I live now and what I do with the Skeem GP Foundation, we are spearheading a campaign with my colleagues of mine, Mr. Pinky, Mr. Ray from Act Now. We are fighting against gender based. Gender based. It's so nice today that I am the number one on gender based, but I was the one who was a persecutor of the church like Paul. But today, I forget all those things. They are now behind me. I stretch myself to what is ahead of me.
So you know what? My mom said I must ask you this. Apparently, when you had Skeem GP, is that true? Is that so? You've always been a giver.
Yeah, no, positively so. Yeah, no, I really love people. Besides I believe in the prophecy of giving. Bible says, give as you give unto the Lord, and the Lord shall give back. So I've always multiplied because whenever I'm in position, I'm elevated. So, and then you know, when you're up there, people, they know who you are. But when you're down, so it happened with me. Now, irrational decision, relationship falling apart. That relationship sent me straight to prison. So cutting to chase, I went to prison because of the toxic relationship. So I am there, people are saying, but this guy was a Mayweather of our nation. He was a lion of our generation. The next thing, he had found himself in the most hopeless of places, but God was about to do anything. Today we've got a solid book, the 7 chapters. And this book was as a result of the many flames that were burning in my life, and I decided to, reduce them into writing. I always talk about a seed. With the seed, it looks dead, but when you take the seed, you bury it onto the ground, it can only do one thing. It will germinate and it will grow. So the 7 chapters were influenced by 7 years. Sentence. I turned 37 months at jail. A musical scale. We've got 7 notes, 7 sins, and 7 deadly seeds. In the Apocalypse of Asia, 7 churches, 7 candlesticks. In the Lord's Prayer, we've got 7 phrases. And every time, about the priests and the prophets who were marching around Jericho, were marching for 7 times. They were carrying 7 trumpets.
7 is just a Bible number.
So for me, it became a significant number. 7 days of the week. Now let me write 7 chapters. The last chapter in the book, again, the most of lots of places, about to see and about to experience my freedom in such jail. And every time I would kneel down, the watch says, Themba, kneel down, it is time to pray. When I look out the window said, Themba, dead dreaming. I started writing, I started penning these thoughts. And then with chapter 7, I'm going to write prophetically because it was my me time and God. There's no distraction, no traffic. Isolation. When God wants to do something in Pilo Yako, but when you take it as a curse, then it's up to you. But I took everything very positively. So I became a laxative in the system as a prison. I've done things abantu emajele bangakaze bazenze. I've done a gospel show in prison for the first time in the history yet DCS. You've got 23 prisons in Gauteng, you've got 243 in South Africa. For the first time, here's a gospel show. Bishop Benjamin Dube was there, the Prophet Nezimu, Ubokeke, Abo Redeemed, and Abo Themba Masina. It was solid in a sense that abantu they started realizing, man, the power that I had. It was not only a borrowed power, and now I would sit down in jail and get goosebumps, and I would struck in awe, Uguti, man, a problem. I need the humanitarian, lawyer, which was George Pizos. When I started publicizing the message, and the day saying, those people they bowed and said, Themba, really, truly, and indeed, when you're chosen. Above all the time, you're always saying, in fact, man, I'm cut from a different cloth, and I won't subject myself and he's reduced to a prison. Lento bekunejeni ijeni yami engihambe ngiwani ungeze umuntu athe ngizokubopha ngiyokudonsela. I-prison is not for the faint-hearted, and the prison uyangena, it's more dangerous than the battlefield. Abantwana abancane yabatshela ngithi, young man, for you to become another man's wife in prison, chances are very real. It has dampened my spirit. At some point I felt lost and despair, but not every pastor, preacher, mentor, motivator has been given a people. Tina, we're responsible to tell our story so that the people may know the power of God. That's why today I don't actually miss my words. I don't follow my own sword. I speak about the love of God. I speak about God not being a God of second chance, but a God of many chances. That's why I'm here today, and I thank you also for the platform, Uguti. People should know what God can do, with one. But this kind of thing, we judge ourselves, we bite ourselves, we criticize and curse ourselves, and you'll never see the light of day. So today, I am here, and I am so excited, Uguti. There's so much more there to Themba has to offer in the country. Documentary Themba Lukhele is coming out very soon.
When?
So, very soon.
All right.
Very soon. Yeah, the 2 books for now. Let's just nibble on this. But we'll just announce when the mood and the time is right. But we are cooking because we are steered in another direction. That is why I said, begune season in South Africa, labo mama bantwana bebaf. So bayashona because of abo baba, the timing. So I realized sometimes we give birth, sometimes please call me. Then it's a self-inflicted pain. People are crying out for help. It's because the next thing we are saying, man, trash. So, if blaming came into Asemzans, President Wenzel so declare so we are living in the last days. So whatever just a free and a friendly advice at home. Just play your part. What I'm doing now, I'm just playing my part.
Right. So this book, did you write it when you were in prison?
Positively so.
It threw it all?
It threw it all, yeah. I started when I was in prison.
Wow.
But because now, Joseph in the Bible, he was in the pit, but he was speaking light in darkness. Joseph, he spoke profoundly, wakhuluma prophetically. Wathi ngiyabuya, go tell Pharaoh, mangibuya I'm going to be the prime minister in Egypt. Mangise prison, ngatshelana uminister we-DCS, bekuntate Thabang Makwetla. Themba Lukhele uyeza, and here is my book. It's going to be published as in all CNA stores in the country, and many bookshelves, wonke lawo amajele. And when I left for the first time, i-prisoner yokhuluma along the minister, that was me. Besila Osizo Technical Center. Banokuthi abanye bathi nonke ke kulunge. I-protocol yonke, abo Zakaria Modise, abo RC, abo AC, bonke abantu i-protocol yonke yasejele, they were there. And actually they could not believe. And bephume balande ibosho zabo mama, ibosho ama inmates wabo mama wabo baba ukuthi okay uzani uzothamela lo yamcimbi. It was so awesome, and people bakhona ukuconnecta. If you and me, we go to prison, I don't care whether you're a celebrity, but I'm not talking about e-story. I'm giving them the heart-wrenching experience. So it's an experience that I'll never trade. Even if you want, okay, think we'll offer R1 billion for the experience that you have.
You can't. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so motivated by you. So please tell me, I heard also that you were a motivational speaker. Because what is it exactly that you do, and how do they receive it? Do they take it well? Do they respond?
Yeah, what if you don't get the resistance somewhere? Somehow maybe we revisit each journey because you cannot. I'll see imali ngeke bakuthande bonke abantu. Remember mina la ngiya khona ngiya komunye umhlaba, and people they believe ukuthi labantu beza ngalo ku 26 babo yibosho. So mina ngibatshela ukuthi okay kune 26 27 big 5 ref for Air Force All of those people, abantu abaphila njengami nawo, mara bayenza ama-mistakes, bahamba bazithola basejele. So those people abanye abafuna ukuchange. Now, I happen to be a minority, so I need to influence abantu, but affect it positively. So I was angry, but angry positively. So I was writing my thoughts down and bengibhala my notes and saying, from here, this is what I'm going to do. From here, incwadi mangi release, they compete among the best books. We work so easy, we are bonang, good teacher's book, and the teacher's book would speak profoundly, we know 18. So there were 5 authors. Remember, this man had no history whatsoever, but no background, now you are selling your own story. So abantu abaningi bathi hayi ngeke sitshele ibhantiti. You would sit in meetings, bangifika meeting. Mhlawumbe nabelungu kwi long boardroom table bafika bathi I so wish all of these inmates can die. Hey, I wish I could bury myself now, my head on the table ngithi ezen. Eish kube bayazi mara ngithi no. Lo muntu because akazi and akazi I experience lento le. Let me just keep quiet and focus on the throne. And I know because mina I've got my story. Abantu they don't like telling ukuthi abuyaphi la mascars wabo. They like telling stars. So
yes,
no. Let me just tell them this doom and gloom picture ngizoyithatha ngiconvert now into something else and convert into revenue so that people could live. That is why I'm saying the most powerful tool that anybody can use in the universe is his or her testimony.
And then now, moving to your foundation. Please tell us more about the Skeem GP Foundation. What is it that you guys do? Who do you help out? Who, just tell us more, Nje. Guti, what made you want to start something like that?
Okay. Well, I think in short, it's a humanitarian cause.
Okay.
At some point, move senze imali, sifuna ukuthi sibe popular, sibe famous. But the fact remains is, kuzofika isikhathi where all of that izofika uyibone ukuthi yazini senginayo le mali, but it's becoming useless because this is about human, this is about ukusizana. So that element, I would never forget it. Mama wangifundisa ukuthi umuntu ophilayo ngibona ukuthi abe no sorry, abe no thank you. So I appreciate. Ngenza mistake, I apologize. That is why I'm offering myself to talk to people for free. And abantu bayafika, I could qualify ukuthi banginike 10, 20,000 rand, but I always say imisebenzi yekhulumelayo. For now, let me push and do my best ukuthi I am painting the town red. I would get into meetings bangibize SABC. Bathi Themba sicela uzokhuluma endaweni so. How I got that gig? Ngahamba bangibiza bathi ngefrenaching. Kukude. Ngapha ngibuye etshele ngisastruggle engithi yonkosi yami. Ngitshela uRay my right hand man and I'm saying to him, Ray, let's go there. Masifika I didn't know ukuthi in the mix indawonyana nje isikolo into enyatsekile kanti there was a producer eRadio Metro. Le producer ngithema ngiceda nje ukushaya nje speech sami but stand innovation. Lo muntu ohamba oyefonela ama director bafika kubizana lo muntu bangibiza 7th floor SABC. Babafika bathi sign la and then let's go. Siyahamba uyendaweni so for the first time igig yami ekhuluma nani 10,000 20 and then I started seeing things happening and God opening doors. So sometimes you need to show up and God will show off. So a foundation, pretty much it's about going back, and helping abantu. And kune mistake abantu abayithandayo. NgeSiswati ke mina ngikhulele ekhaya. Kunabantu abathanda kubukwa.
Yeah, abathanda kubukwa mnaki.
Kunomuntu othanda lip service ne-eye service. When there are no people in the audience, akayenzi anything. Nala ikonzweni sina. Whether I'm out ushering ubona ukuthi akungcono. Khona abantu abawazi ukuseva bethulile. uNkulunkulu makakuthatha uvela kukhethe phakathi kweziningi and say okay, this one should be my vessel, this one uphethe potential serious, so I cannot identify you ungas avail. So I always encourage people, young people, even in the foundation we've got a youth league, so we have amalgamated. There are pool of foundations as con. Okay, asibasebenziseni. Nabo khanyisile, Skeem GP Foundation, nabo egg now. We always match and say, okay, we are pushing the common goal. No competition. Competition is a healthy part. We are helping and assisting people.
Yes.
Kunamamol, kunentezning, is about third now, fourth pandemic. See, now that's where we come in. And say, let us put a smile on somebody's face. No matter experience a birthday. If we identify, section, one of our young ladies, Begedlula, who's my birthday, and she saw something that actually caught her attention. And what in fact, I cried myself to sleep. The situation in Gibonelapan, Ken, Skeem GP Foundation, and can you say, come through, Sizo assist. And then we bought in this Saya Lapana. When I saw that woman, and actually, she was torn apart. Mara, Mena, I went to bed with a smile to realize you are not only assisting and helping Lomund. Behind the scenes, the world was crashing and dropping. So abantu kahle umhlaba wakhe beso collapse. We gave hope.
Yes, yes. Wow. Yo, umuntu angakumamela the whole day, my gosh. Okay, so you're saying the foundation. So basically what you do, you go around, you help kuma situations where you guys can. But now I want to ask you, where does the foundation get funds from?
Okay. Well, for now, we know ukuthi most of the time, we as mhlambe private entities, you rely on the government. But it's not always the solution. So, and I cannot say, I can point the direction and say, we are getting funding. For now, we are self-sustained. Myself, Kanyisile, Egg Now, Bangobi, all of those people are coughing from their own pockets because
really?
umsebenzi wakho uqalubela lapha ubonakala. As a foundation, you need to be self-sustained. You cannot give or you cannot pour from an empty jug. So we had to really go deep down and under and send the show with this pocketing just to push for now. Then once umsebenzi wakho ubonakala, there will be that somebody also identify. Just recently, we were pushing somewhere. I happened to be an MC. And I didn't know, let me just do this. When I was pushing, former president, Umutlante, she was in the mix. And we take before you Fernand, not need numbers so sometimes maybe some destiny helpers. Destiny helpers. Even in the Bible, if you understand, this man was sick. Maramanje, he was the greatest warrior. Bamazutai, no mundenda went away. Mara, he was sick. Only helper. He helped actually Mpazo Akiateman. Kulendo thing as you, Elisha Lapan. I started in the Lapan, in the Tenotog. Ngogmamera pen, wire, and as long as two Elisha Pum. Wama forgot to pay to in. Lomuntu Ateman Pete, what okay, go dip yourself in the River Jordan 7 times. I'm very big. I'm a warrior as you. But what else? Let me just listen. He went 1, 2, 3, 7 times. He was healed just because of Fugmame. Maribuye from a destiny helper, which was a helper. So God really moves, things for us. We don't only have to dream, but we need to also be doers. So for now, I teach people in Nabituzanity, I want to be a sweet aroma. Whoever I see, if I can leave a smile, whether I'm going and I like serving behind the scenes, I'm pushing people. Sometimes I'm feeling good, we are 70s. I would move. Now currently I'm a project nationwide. Now I'm leaving the team any building. This team I trust them. They cannot come and complain. Now but they're paying their school fees. So if we can just do that back to back, I am telling you, the world could be a better place to live in.
Okay, so do you personally think that la umntwana akhulela khona ne, or is surrounding or the area determines the person that the child is going to be tomorrow?
Definitely sure. This is an example that I will give you just to answer you directly. Dr. David Mlapo, he's one of my mentors. When I left prison, ICANN Foundation, ICANN, need to doctor, he speaks in more than 44 countries. Now we exchange our books. Let me tell you about the geographic location. God does 2 things. When God creates, he creates a place and he puts a person. So he created that prison. I was in prison. So now for him to understand outing it for political violence. I can do all things through Christ. But a turning point. So it affects our surroundings. That thing does happen because people, they get to prison, Babe West, by graduate. So in the impact and the effect. That is why Abakulele under suburban areas, you can tell the tone, the accent. But because streetwise,
yes,
street smart, and
yes.
I don't dispute that people should give their academical point of view. But I'm not saying no. Say fully that street smart. Meaning if we have the ministers, it's about time. Hell is about to break loose. Let's identify. Also, have the spirit of discernment. That's why it's not connected with Bishop. We don't glorify them, but we thank God with who was 7 Sabanto. Let's navigate because Baba's goodbye descended and say, yeah, you are heading for a downfall. Imishato Siangena, but you don't get no as good left. lo muntu uthathe single trip or lo uthathe return. You can tell from the first time. So the environment is very important. Let's encourage people, let's move away and relocate from poverty. Poverty, it's the worst enemy yomuntu because poverty awucabangi kahle. Inhliziyo iba yimbi. Yonke into yakhe iyadileka. But let me tell you about money. The nicest things that are done by money. Nithi noma ngabe kuthiwa nangu uyasuka manje umalume Sibusiso mela eNatali. The first thing abayibuza uza nani? If awuzi nani sibathi ungathembi umuntu umalume ayikho indawo yakhe. And if uzomuva ufuna the best healthcare mawone mali abantwana bakho bafunda kuphi multiracial school mawone mali yonke into yakhe iyamuva and awubinele parents. So I'm just encouraging people to say we are not masipusha ivangeli la sishumayela the gospel of prosperity, but we need to talk about that. Yonke into needs money.
True.
For us to be alive like church we are moving, but abantu kumele bazi ukuthi yazi ukuthi si-stream it needs that. So imali is very important ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi simove.
Okay, yes, so now going to the books. Mosositshelile kancane nge-Through It All, ne? And you wrote your second book. Sorry, I'm short,
Kingpin.
guys.
Okay.
Yes.
This is Kingpin. Now,
Yes.
Kingpin Through It All. The contrast or the difference. This is a black, this is a white. I was in the darkness. Now we are in light.
And then light muhle kanjani?
Thank you so much. So when I did this, all of these, like the cover, lento ngiyenze ngena benefit information ejele. I didn't know what is matte black. I didn't know what is Canberra 11. I didn't know ukuthi mangibhala ngama italics ngibhala ngani. Mara I had to do my own research. Ngathi ngifuna icover ezoba matte finish, icover ezoba ne-sport UV ne-embossment. Now when sasikhuluma isilungu esinye singathi
Yazini esinzimanyana so.
So from la after I was reintegrated, I realized ukuthi yabona in prison abantu they still struggling and kune problem. So let me build from where I left off.
Yes.
Just to show them ukuthi it is possible.
Yeah.
Black child, it is very possible. So if I've done it, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, we all can do it.
Yeah.
I started penning these thoughts here manje. Ngabhala about the events manje. Ukuphelwa ama petrol udriver kanje. Manje lento ngikhuluma ngayo. Angikhulumi nje story. And remember, at some point i-account yakho beyismile una 1.5 million. At some point manje so uboleka even i-airtime. U10 rand uboleke ngalo Vodacom bakufakela i-wallet igwinyeke le mali akwazi ukuyiredeem. Ngibuya fair kakhulu and yazi bengilele ngesisi straight ngicabanga ngithi I remember my son, Samba Sepulumfanteni, it's covered in this book. Just a short story. Masipuma step in little gate. Hey, petrol light. I had only 300 rands. So now, siyongcwaba umkhulu wentwana yami. So I'm saying, hey, siyofika kanjani? So there was a friend of mine being visited Lizo. I'm talking about destiny helpers. I speak to him and I'm telling him my frustrations. In as much as umangibona abantu bamafethu financially I'm disadvantaged very much. So let me see what I can do. Give me your account number. Mangizofika halfway Bloemfontein petrol yaphela. Now there's this friend of mine belonging push. Engiphile nayo. Mfethu angisendele i-wallet. Athi angizokusendela 5 clip. Ayikakhala epalini phone. Ikhala ifone ukuyibheka angena online maqedile aphu. Ngithi Skeem GP uwe lo ubhayisa kanje.
Mawuphilisana naye nisase nepub lo muntu. Ish.
Intwana yami ilele la. So ngeke driver ike yathi 10 kilometers imoto. Mayithi 10 iyayehle Mercedes Benz. Mayiqedile iyaqima yaveza ama line. So it simply means ngastaka anytime. Mangifika lo amhlaba benguwo mina ihlahla zimfishane kunabelungu abaphusha ama-cliffine ngithi le ntupheke nje ebelungwini ngathi mfethu ngilahlekile kwamampela. You know ngavala amehlo kancane a short prayer. Ngathi yabona if ever lo ngiyalingwa ngisehlane hayi lenkulunkulu straight ngingekile. But I know ukuthi what does not kill us, it makes us even strong.
Stronger,
I have little faith. Listen to the story. Mangifika ngima imoto ima phambi kwe-ATM ye-FNB ngilinde i-wallet engazi uyofika what time. Mangiloko ngihleli kufika imoto yemali. Remember my story. Uthemba bekashaya imoto zemali.
So go on.
Na imoto yemali ya reverse izoshisa imali izoloader the same ATM. You know ngakhoreya ngazibuza ukuthi lento yini le. So it's covered nicely in the book. And I said to myself, manje intwana yami iyavuka iyabuza ukuthi why sasimile. So ngamasudu kusekuseni lesi funeral ngesikhathi siyayilanga selevela. Fast forward ngithi no man. Bathi ngicheck ifone yami. I went to the banking app. Mangithi ngibonise name that I recognize. Makasani ngithi manje ubani lo? No man, yesterday I went to Sipho. Then ngifake 20,000 in my account. Yes. Uyabona ungakhali inyembezi. kaphuthiwe ngeze ukuthi heavy load ifikile immediately ngifuna ukujumpa ngiya ku-ATM manje ku-ATM ngiyakhipha imali ngithi ngikhiphe ngithi maximum leso sikhathi ngikhiphe 3000 rand ngingene emotweni ngistarte mamela imoto yenzani it was empty velitlitlitli imoto ifila isastart hey ngithi ngiyavelela or ngiyaqashelwa yazi that time intwana yami iyavuka ngithi mamela quick kume kufike enye imoto iyama iveko mayima le iveko ime phambi kwami so lo muntu usho ukuthi ngizo-reverse sengistakile yena imoto yakhe ayina R so inalo zimela phule ngethi yabona lelanga lelo ngathi mina ngatshela umfana ngathi asiphushe endleleni samphusha balayisha intwana yami baya kwenye igarage kunala mapompa kunane-carport kule garage leyo kusemapulazini ngakhona bamthelela isigubhu sakuya safaka esigubhini thela ipetrol
A whole Mercedes
so I'm
Benz.
saying the experience this is my journey and the story of my life abantu abayikhulumi the dark side I've got the worst days and mangizicabanga and actually ngifisa ngathi ngingazi-erase life yami but it's part of my story it's part of me that is why I talk about prison I don't edify or glorify prison or crime but I have to tell you why I've been you don't have to go there in life there's a script for us all I chose to write my own script I thank you.
One more question before I let you go. Nguzo ukhuluma manje talking about at some point your bank account had 1.5 million. Now when I saw my advance, what happened to all your things that you had?
You know,
Also ngikumote one.
yabona the first thing from 22 cars zaqala imoto angithi ukhumbule ukuthi bathi elimele zizwa ngephunga even ehlathini ngathi iphuma igazi iyo leli imali aqala so abantu besibabone there was an opportunity even abantu bemclose nabo angithengiselele they saw ukuthi very obviously now isn't they were going down spiral so the wheels came off I was fast going to prison I was paying 30,000 per appearance and ngabiza amalawyer wonke lawa because bengafuni ukungena ejele I would pay ngapha 150,000 rands ngithi mina ngifuna ukuya from regional court failed case ayithatha sa high court I paid executive monies and then from then I moved to Supreme Court unfortunately there was no element of constitution I fought a good fight imali iphelele emaloyeni imoto ziyathengiswa one by one respect yalahleka credibility yadawutheka so ne-criminal record imali ayikho so kahle
Properties? Did you have properties?
nje straight Basonia gone 4 ways gone no one by one because mina into ekhona ngibe sengidinekile na iPorsche ngapha nayo iPorsche yangicela la yangibiza yabona ngitshela abantu ngithi mawungakatholi i-call umuntu indoda ethi le moto silande emsebenzini or
Silande ekhaya.
mele wazi ukuthi awazi for
You haven't lived.
leyo calling ngiyayazi ke mina Porsche and ngangine chance yokusave ngathi no ngiyalwa ngapha lo mfazi ngapha yini ngathi no let me just let go ngoba ngisikwala I've done this and I will climb through the ranks and ngizoyenza noma ngithatha ungisemabranchini ngizoescalate ngiye navigate until to the president so where I am manje akuna pressure and believe it or not I am more comfortable than before I can safely say in the most humblest of ways I am at a better place in the better position and I'm more popular than Themba was
Than you
because
were.
you are
Yeah.
clean, you are no longer notorious, then you are becoming famous. But for him, there's a shot. So that is what I'm saying. I love my history, I love my scars, I am very humble, I love people, and may the good Lord, bless people. And yabona hope but Themba Lukhele. The only thing that kept me going, abazali bami. They are getting older. And abazali bami, they were developing some heart sicknesses because of you. So when you're doing crime and funny business, you're not only hurting yourself, but
You're hurting the people around you. So what would you say now to umfana sekazi ucabanga ukuqala crime or those that have started changed their lives?
I always talk about two things. The life in a karma and there's a law of retribution. These laws are very real among us. It doesn't matter whether it takes 30 or 50 years. Time is not of the essence. Ingalo yomthetho yinde. Noma ungazifihla la, izorounder one day bam. So things they catch up with people. Unokuhlala uzuthi ngathi deja vu. You do things today and you realize kusasa ukuthi esanikhulumela umuntu kabi. Kanti wena just because awungaboshwa wayetshela akusho ukuthi uclean. There are many people who are committing crime from bishops bafundisi ukuyaphi but because akaza ejele kukhonjwa bathize. So ema-ofisini you may be the mayor and preside over ama-cases wabopinki wabontwaki wabothemba just because ufuna ukuvala amanyala wakho ngabanye abantu. So that is what I'm saying. Let's stay away from anything oyaziyo that is not like God.
All right, thank you guys, and there you have it. One more thing: if someone wants to make a contribution to your foundation, where do they go? Isilungu. Where do they go? Who do they call? How can they get a hold of you guys? So I think now you can talk to the people now. Yeah.
All right. Okay, firstly, I'll start with the books.
Yes.
This is Through It All. This is Kingpin, written behind bars, a story of my life. The many flames that were burning, Life in Themba, Umuntu Akula, rise, fame, fortune, and glory, until I was entangled by the forces who were hell-bent to bring me down. I was humbled by the storms of life. So Ingwadi Sitola in all the CNA stores, actually the both books. Then Foundation, you can just check us on at Skeem GP, Skeem GP Foundation. When you log into Skeem GP across all social platforms, Skeem GP underscore SA, and then Facebook, Skeem GP SA, Instagram, Skeem GP underscore SA.
And there you have it, guys. Skeem GP, Themba. Thank you for coming through. It was so nice talking to you. You're very interesting. I'm actually going to read both your books. I'm going to go buy them and read them. I want to find out more. And from me, your girl, Ntombi, this is Relax with Ntombi Mngomezulu. Deuces.